Hey, thanks for stopping scrolling. It's going to be about a 3-minute discipling Bible study, so I thank you for staying a lot. The last time we summarized the Old Testament with its 5 books of law, 12 books of history, 5 books of poetry, and 17 books of prophecy. The last book of prophecy was written somewhere around 400 BC, about 400 years before Jesus. The time between the Old Testament and the New Testament is often called the 400 years of silence. But in fact, many things happened, such as the transition from Israel being ruled by various Persian and Greek empires to being ruled by Rome at the time of Jesus, about 160 years before Jesus. But well after the last book of the Old Testament was written, the Hebrews revolted against the Greek rulers, the Seleucids, and had a small war called the Maccabean Revolt. That's where Hanukkah comes from, and interestingly, Jesus goes to it in the New Testament. But then, Jesus was born. This happened around 4 BC, as far as we can determine. By about 30 AD, Jesus was executed by Rome by crucifixion. And then he was raised to life and ascended into heaven about 40 days later. And 10 days after that, the Church of Christ started. At the Jewish Feast of Pentecost in Jerusalem, the church members started to travel the area, then the known world, to tell about Jesus. It wasn't long until documents started to appear that we call the New Testament. The first 4 books in the New Testament are the Gospels, a word that means good news. 3 of those Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, are called synoptic because they're similar, telling many of the same events from different points of view. The last, John's Gospel, was written much later and focuses on Jesus' last 2 weeks. It was mostly written to combat a heresy that Jesus wasn't really human. The 5th book is a history of the church, from Jesus' ascension to Paul's arrival in Rome. It shows the fulfillment of the Great Commission that we find in Matthew 28, 19, and 20. Now, the next 13 books are letters written by Paul the Apostle to various churches about teaching the nature of God, sin, church teaching. He sent these directly to the various churches. After that comes 8 more letters of similar content, 1 from an unknown author called Hebrews, and 7 from others, including 5 from Peter and John, the apostles of Jesus. Finally, Revelation is the last book, and it's a book of prophecy and apocalypse. 27 books, and we're going to go through them right here on Disciple Time. A few each day. Talk to you later on Day of Devotion.